If music awards were given for beef, Shatta Wale would probably need the entire West Hills Mall just to keep his trophies. He's one of Ghana's biggest musicians, loved by fans, hated by critics. But almost everyone agrees on one thing. Shatta loves drama. He knows how to make headlines and turn even a simple dot into a trending headline.
Shatta. Welcome to the studios, respect. You're one of the artists that keeps on trending in Ghana. I mean, like every day. I know people actually pay people to get trending, but you don't have to do none of that at all. You're always trending.
But on the other side of every trending headline is a human being. And in almost every case, the story feels the same. People support him, stand by him, push his career forward. Then, all of a sudden, they end up as enemy. In Shatta Wale's world, destiny helpers are like condoms, useful when needed, thrown into dustbin after pipis. Yeah, I know. That sounds harsh, yes, but you will see it clearly very soon. Because today we are looking at 6 of the biggest names affected in this trend. And I like to call them the victims of Shatta Wale. Let's start from the highest and then work our way down to the people who literally build the SM family. Sarkodie, one of Africa's most respected rappers, is known for his lyrical skills, calm personality, and clean brand. Shatta, on the other hand, thrives on chaos. Regardless, Sarkodie extended a helping stage.
We had the chance to, perform on Rapaholic. And I gathered a crew and told them this was our chance. We've been performing too much on Sapele stages and Wawa stages, So if we've gotten the chance to be on a stage like Rapaholic, which was Sarkodie's show, we need to make a mark. And I believe we went there, we really made that mark.
And because of this, fans always imagined him and Shatta joining forces on international tours, representing Ghana together. But as for Shatta, he saw a rival. When Shatta began throwing shots at Sarkodie, calling him stingy, irrelevant, and broke, it wasn't just random. It was Shatta looking for attention from Ghana's #1 rapper. Most people thought Sarkodie would ignore it, and he did for a while. The year is 2018. Sarkodie dropped one of the coldest diss tracks in Ghanaian history, My Advice. It wasn't loud or angry. Sark just calmly rapped facts, line after line, basically telling Shatta, fans went wild.
I love this.
How about Shatta? Well, he went back to Facebook Live shouting and ranting. It was like watching a calm John Mahama debating with Chairman Wontumi. One looks smart and the other, well, But time has a funny way of twisting stories. Fast forward to September 2025. Shatta Wale once again got to perform on the Rapaholic stage, this time in Kumasi.
Sarkodie brought out Shatta Wale. They started performing Dancehall Commando. They performed a Joe Girl. It was beautiful.
If Shatta can go after Sarkodie, who moved him from the Sapele stage to a proper stage, imagine what happens to the DJs who play his music on radio. For many years, and Dosty gave Shatta Wale something priceless: airplay, interviews, and exposure. That's free marketing most artists would kill for. And here is the twist. While Shatta Wale was loudly claiming, "I'm not an industry player," whenever he has a new concert or album, Andy grant him radio interviews. One man killer, no media hype. But let's be honest, Andy was part of that hype machine. Andy played his music on radio. It's kind of like saying you don't eat cassava food while drinking Kivu 4-in-1 Gary mix every morning, not even afternoon. But then came February 2023. During the Invasion concert in Takoradi, Shatta was on stage. The crowd is hyped, the beat is loud, and suddenly he stops the DJ, not to thank the fans, but to insult the media. And right there, in front of thousands of people, he singles out Andy Dosty. He even goes as far as insulting Andy's mother on stage in public. And barely 2 months later, on his radio show, when
one Shatta Wale fan came to send a message.
The Shatta Wale album is doing good and you people are not talking about it.
Talk about it.
You want me to talk about it?
Andy refused. His exact reason was,
an artist that stands on stage and insults my mother and talk anyhow foolishly to my mother, and you want me to what?
I'm sorry.
Not you, I'm talking about me.
in my personal opinion, that's fair. You can diss a man, maybe even his career. But his mother, nah, that's an automatic red card. Eventually, Shatta did apologize through a mutual friend. Andy accepted the apology, but admitted he couldn't just forgive and forget. Let's face the fact. Once someone has insulted your mother in public, a handshake months later doesn't exactly erase the memory. And guys, this right here is the Shatta formula. So take a pen and a paper. Step 1. Deny the support you got.
I've been able to build this thing alone myself.
Step 2. Attack the person who gave it to you.
See, when Beyonce wanted to do a song with me,
yes,
if she had made a mistake and the team had gone to Marco Kokumate and the Dosty, don't talk people. I'm dead.
Step 3. Act cool in public and keep the spotlight. But if Shatta can turn on a DJ who was basically his unofficial hype machine, what chance do the people who actually managed his career have? Bulldog is part of the reason Shatta Wale's career was able to rise and stay strong in the early years of his comeback. Over the years, Bulldog and Shatta Wale have had the most chaotic on and off manager-artist relationship in the Ghana music scene.
30 person like that, they can sit ready. You know, see, every day they wear jalabia, but you know they wear supporter. Indeed, do like
regardless the dick size, he managed Shatta during some of his most important years and helped build the brand that made Shatta who he is today. But things took a dark turn in the year 2022 when Shatta made serious allegations against Bulldog. Wale linked Bulldog to the murder of Fenwick Ochre, Kwakese's late manager, killed in 2014. That wasn't just an insult, that was potentially life-damaging accusation.
Michy radio soon and a text message. You are to report at the aforementioned unit to assist the police an investigation in respect of the current pronouncement made by Shatta Wale concerning Fennek Ochi's death. Treat this as urgent. I'm Andy shows you, and I'm receiving a text way.
So Bulldog didn't play games. He fought back the legal way. He took Shatta to court for defamation. And what exactly did Bulldog wanted from the lawsuit? Well, a retraction of the defamatory statement, an unqualified apology from Shatta Wale, compensation for the harm to his reputation, a court order to stop Shatta Wale from repeating such allegations. In 2023, they settled. In 2024, Shatta publicly apologized and retracted everything he had said. They might have settled legally, but the damage to their trust and relationship, irreversible. This wasn't just beef. It rather showed how far the clout-chasing Wale would go to be in the news, so that people will keep on talking about him, even if it means turning against the people closest to his success. And if Shatta can throw away a manager, what about family? Or let's talk about love. Yeah, let's talk about love. You see, Michy wasn't just a girlfriend. She left a comfortable life to be with Wale when he was lost in the music industry. That's not a footnote. That is investment. She was a partner in crime, the mother of his child, Majesty, and someone who stood by him when he was rebuilding from Bandana to Shatta Wale. She sacrificed, she supported, and even helped shape his public image when the whole industry doubted him.
And when you look at Shatta Wale, what do you see?
See a king.
A king.
She was supposed to be his queen. And then came the big moment. October 2018. The Rain concerts. Shatta Wale, in front of thousands, pulls the ultimate romantic PR stance. He gets down on one knee and proposes.
I just ask one question for me. Shatta Michy, will you marry me?
The crowd went wild. Ghanaian Twitter almost broke. Wale and Michy looked like the ultimate celebrity power couple. But here's the thing. With Shatta Wale, the show is always bigger than the story. Fast forward 3 months later, January 2019, the fairy tale ends. Not with a wedding, but with an Instagram story. Michy drops the bomb. Posting on her Instagram story, she wrote, "No one wants to be in abusive and draining relationship." And just like that, the queen left the castle. The proposal that once defined their love story is now a meme. After their breakup, of course, Shatta Wale being Shatta Wale, he wasn't going to stay quiet. Shatta called her ungrateful. Michy, on the other hand, called the breakup God's way of saving her.
Thank you for saving me, thank you, my Lord.
She later clapped back harder and stated emphatically that she sacrificed her own career and personal happiness for Shatta and got nothing in return. She deserves appreciation, not insult. Today, Michy is focused on her own career and raising her son, Majesty. She has even hinted at a documentary about her journey. And once again, we see the pattern clearly. Someone builds with Shatta, then exits with scars. Even love doesn't protect you in Shatta's world. From romance, let's go back to the music circle, where one right-hand man turned enemy overnight. Back when Shatta Wale was still known as Bandana, radio stations wouldn't play his songs, interviews were off the table, he fell underground. And not because he wasn't talented, nah. His music was so damn good, but his reputation wasn't. People called him ruffian,
arrogant type, the rude boy, you know, a gangster, you know, that kind of thing. I believe I've proven them wrong by using my music as a tool to fight them.
To understand the comeback of Shatta Wale, we need to meet the guy who basically handed him a mainstream media platform when nobody else would. That guy is Pop Skinny.
Pop Skinny? Pop Skinny?
The year is 2012 and Pop Skinny has yet become the new host of the show, Kasahari Levels on Andom FM. He could have played it safe.
Hey, I welcome you on to Kasahari Level. Okay.
Instead, he put his new job on the line, defied the executives of Andom FM, and gave Bandana an interview. The first radio interview Bandana had gotten in about 10 years. That is huge. That moment was the seed of a comeback.
Bandana, I know say before you go left here, your name will come news inside everywhere you go.
Pop Skinny didn't just interview him. He gave Bandana the platform to launch his rebrand. On Pop Skinny's show, Bandana announced his new name publicly.
Shatta Wale!
Shatta Wale. That radio slot helped push him back into the public eye again. Not long after, organizers were booking him for shows. Shatta started getting nominations, like the VGMA Dancehall Artist nomination in 2013. And then momentum followed. So if anyone tells you Shatta did it all alone, remind him of the platform that had to be handed back to him. Pop Skinny was that hand.
Inti me make say me the Bandana bano. Andom FM for antia say wo say sorry smoke away obeninu ria ye won. Me producer ba akoni o kan say inti wo de akwa we ba no obenisi studio here.
Obenisi. Obenisi. Na me ntia say. Na what is one wo ba bi pe.
Wale akaza no na wo say na omu ya de inti no na obi ampe no on radio station.
Okay.
Me na me the first official radio station me interview.
After that, Pop Skinny and Shatta became close. He became Shatta's right-hand man. They collaborated on tracks, performed together, and Pop Skinny became a public voice for the Shatta movement. That kind of loyalty matters in music. It builds careers.
Me say me a hot cake. Man boy a hot cake. Me say a hot cake. Pop Skinny so a hot cake.
Fast forward to 2018 2019, and the friendship starts to fracture. Small things piled up. Strike one was Pop Skinny praising Sarkodie's diss track advice, which in Shatta's eyes, it looked like borrowing the yellow Lamborghini and handing it over willingly to the Yoko. Strike 2. Skinny criticized how Shatta treated his own cousin, Blade. And then, strike 3 was a party bus misunderstanding. Pop Skinny had arranged with a friend to get Shatta Wale a party bus to flex on Ghanaians and trend.
Party bus here, sa van kesibia empania dia party na strippers wo no meba America na mebe hu here Massachusetts Worcester here and I'm the.
But Skinny announced the party bus in a way that made it sound like he had bought the bus. Shatta, on the other hand, wanted the story to show that the bus was rather purchased by him. Sounds like little misunderstandings? Maybe. Yeah. But with Shatta, little things escalate fast. In early 2019, Shatta announced on Facebook that Pop Skinny had been kicked out of the SM camp for betrayal. That announcement would set off a very public, a very ugly beef. They traded insults on social media. Shatta posted videos demanding a Benz and a $10,000 repayment. Pop Skinny's reply was blunt. Wale, you have never given me a $10,000 in your life. Not even to your mother. That line landed hard because if you know anything about Wale's mother, then, well, you know. Then music entered the fights. They exchanged diss tracks. The whole thing turned into accusations of juju, rape, threats, counter accusations, and fans choosing sides. But here's something we need to take notice of. Pop Skinny didn't start off as an opportunist. He risked his career to give Shatta a platform. He helped build the comeback. So when Shatta publicly called him a betrayer, it cut deeper than Ashawini ne baby. By 2021, Pop Skinny softened. He publicly apologized and begged for peace. He said he still loves Shatta Wale despite their problems and regrets how the fight unfolded. Shatta Wale, on the other hand, also said he has no issue with Pop Skinny and expressed confusion at the public perception of their fallout. Whether that apology actually healed anything is not very clear, but it showed one thing: fatigue. The drama had taken its toll on both men. So, you may ask, what is the moral of this story? If you give your land out to a Galamsey operator, don't be surprised when the river turns brown. Finally, let's go back to the roots, to the part of the story most people skip when they talk about the comeback of Shatta Wale. People love a comeback story, but what happens when the people who build the comeback get cut out of the story? These two, Cypher and Juwade, founded the Shatta Movement family. Yeah, they weren't just fans waving hands in the air and shouting pa 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 pa. Around 2010, they were booking small shows and organizing events to help relaunch a struggling bandana into something bigger. So, what went wrong? The year is 2013, November. Cypher and Juwade goes public. They held a press conference and accused Bandana, now Shatta Wale, of abusing the Shatta movement's name. They want him to stop. They said the movement was supposed to help young ghetto youths get opportunities, and that Shatta Wale's behavior was giving the movement a bad name in the eyes of corporate Ghana. Listen. This was not a street fight or a social media drama. It was a formal business claim. Companies won't invest if the movement looks risky or chaotic. It simply means we want the Shatta movement family to lift up the youth, but not scare away the people with the money to help. So, this was a protection move, not a personal attack. Now, here is where it gets blurry. Shatta didn't publicly say anything. No, he did not reply Juwade, but he did something very sinister. He just started calling his fan base SM for life, a slight twist on the SMF. Most people didn't notice the difference. To most fans, it looks like a slogan, but to the founders, that was hijacking. To the public, the difference blurred. To corporate sponsors, that blur was a problem. This made it harder for the original movement to get deals meant to empower the ghetto youths. SMF started to look like a shadow of itself. Fast forward a little. In February 2016, Shatta posted a photo with Juwade on Facebook. The caption read something like, SMF and SM has finally joined hands together as one family. We are about to raise dancehall to heights you can't imagine. Thanks to God for bringing back my blood, Juwade. It was a public piece. The movement is healed. Publicly, they hugged. Privately, the founders had already lost a key thing. When one face becomes the entire brand, it's hard for the founding voices to keep their place at the table. Here is a new twist you might not have expected. In July 2025,
Shatta Wale I changes for the management team.
Juwade appeared on the list as
general manager, bookings and requests. So person book Shatta Wale for show.
Manager for bookings and requests within Shatta's own structures. It looks like a sweet ending, right? The founder becomes an employee. Publicly, they are part of the family again. But the question is, who controls the brand? Who controls the narrative? More often than not, the answer is the person who owns the attention. Either way, the fact remains. Even the movement that gave Shatta his foundation ended up feeling betrayed. What is undeniable is this: Shatta Wale has kept himself at the center of Ghana's music conversation for years. Shatta loves to tell the comeback story as, I did it all alone. No media hype, no industry support, 1 man 1,000. It sounds heroic, it looks cinematic, it sells a myth. Except, let's be honest, the receipts tell a different story. Look at the list: Sarkodie, Dosty, Bulldog, Michy, Skinny, Juwade. Different people, different roles, same truth. They all helped build his comeback. And then, in another version of the story, what happened to all of them? Shatta turned them into enemies. You can call it a strategy. You can call it a temperament. Call it whatever sounds better in the comment section.